My
Hit that
goodness.
button. Now we're here and we're live because I didn't hit the record button. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the place where we do the thing. There's people in chat. That's fantastic. Those of you listening, like Ashley, how's our audio levels? I always have a hard time balancing myself and players. So if you give me a little feedback on that, I would appreciate it. But yeah, we're here to play some Forbidden Lands, continuing on Raven's Purge. And last time we left off, we were in the, and I got a picture of it because you've been through the little dungeon secret area now, so I can show off the picture. We're rocking out in Vale of the Dead. And yeah, audio sounds good. Thanks, Ashley. We'll get into a little more robust of a recap here in a moment, but let's do some introductions first. So yeah, just who are you? Plug your pluggables and who are you playing? And we'll just go in order of the overlay. So Adam gets to start first.
Hello, I'm Adam Rose, and I'm with Grim and Perilous Studios. I am playing Huxley, the young sorcerer orc, and I'd like to plug Leather Steel Blade and Bone, and I know I can't post in chat, so I'm going to do that here in Zoom chat. If one of you fine mods could put that up, please.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So yeah, that's what I'm all about. It's a rule supplement that was made by a fan of Zweihander and asked me to work on it, as well as Ken Duque. So if you haven't checked it out already, please do.
There's the link. Check it out. Okay. Next, Dan.
Everybody, Steely Dan is my character, and I'm Dan with the Defenders of Cobalt. And I don't know, I read some books last time.
Good
We'll
job.
see if I read some more books this time.
I'm glad you can read.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm good at.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Next up, we got Jake.
I am Jake with the Defenders of Cobalt, and I will be playing an elderly goblin named Osborne. He has a shield. He used to have a hog named Bob. That is a hog called a Bob, but he sent it away. He sent it away.
Bob will return, so don't,
Bob's just having a little fun right now.
He's out there, doing pig stuff.
Yeah. He's eating things and terrorizing Southerners. Because that's what hogs do.
Mm-hmm. True. All right. Over on the other side, up at the top, we got Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. Ventures in Lollygagging. We play games on the internet, twitch.tv/lollygaggers, and also here on the Free League Publishing channel. This coming Monday, you can catch Chuck, Melissa, myself, playing Things from the Flood here, along with Dan as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, on Fridays over on our own channel, we play Delta Green, and then alternating Mondays we play Alien. And I'm playing Waits, who is an elderly dwarf minstrel who has started to see the end is near, and he wants everyone to know that he sees that the end is near. So he dresses in black, he shaved his beard, and all he ever does is talk about death now. Yeah, that's basically Waits now. He's a little depressing. Where he used to be kind of a jovial, happy guy, but now he's off on his Johnny Cash Man in Black phase is where he's at now.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. And last, but certainly not least, Melissa.
Melissa with Adventures in Lollygagging. I am playing Balari the Mistwalker. She is an old druid. I've been banking some XP for a little bit, so I was able to pick up another rank of Pathfinder. So now I get an artifact D8 whenever I do lead the way, because that is what she, her new pride is, keeping everybody on path, keeping us from getting lost.
There we go.
Just a moment here. Rosley's yelling at me.
Oh, very cool. And sadly, Jen is not able to join us today. She's feeling a little under the weather, so good thoughts towards Jen. But if you want to catch out all the great stuff that Jen does, you can check her out on Twitch over at Pixel Prowler. Yeah, so go watch Jen play some super cool video games. And Jen also runs with our, good friends over at Grim and Perilous Studios. So, last session, you all, all ventured off into the Vale of the Dead, looking for some information. You heard maybe there was a clue to the Stanengist crown down here in this region. And you found it was kind of occupied by these rough and drunken looking orcs. You found the actual temple for the Vale of the Dead. And there's some strange little creatures in there, but this temple was designed real weird. So if you made noise inside, it super amplified it and could cause a whole lot of hurt to everyone. Yet these strange little creatures that you came across were able to talk freely, so at least they screamed in terror as Osborne tried to go after one of them. And they insulted Osborne a few times too, so yeah.
Jerks.
Those jerks. Then you made it into the Vale of the Dead proper, kind of the right section. My little ping thing is very much not the right color to show that off, but that's okay. Yeah, while traveling through, all sorts of restless undead spirits were about, looking all sorts of agitated. You came across a Raven Sister, the ghost of a Raven Sister, who was extremely angry with all of you and started accusing you of being Rust Brothers. Eventually, she was convinced that you weren't, and she became very helpful. She kind of pointed out the old gardens, the groves of fruit and vegetables that the old monks that maintained the Vale of the Dead, it's long since overgrown, just growing wild. She gave you some information that the whiners, the small creatures who live in the temple, they sneak out at night and they steal fruit. But she also took you to an old cottage kind of at the northern end of this section. And cottage was partially smashed. She told you that the creature inside, the dead fed that person to keep them alive. But they're horribly misformed and swollen, probably under some form of curse. And kind of talking to them, you found out that the Vile King, what's his face? Zatira. Well, Zatira is what they're called now. Initially, they were called Zjogfer back then, the old king. Zjogfer and his wife lived here for a while. And this dude was their servant. But he had a very specific request. He would share some information. He would share a soup stone with you, a magical soup stone, if you would kill him. So you all had a nice long conversation, and then Waits gave him the gift of death.
Give me a 1-2.
Yeah. So if someone could refresh me, what kind of information did you get out of, I believe this man's name was Harama? Is that correct? I think that's correct. It's correct enough that I'm not looking it up.
No, that is what I have
cool.
here. Because we have their soup stone.
Mm-hmm.
So Zjogfer turned him into the being that we found him as?
Yeah.
After being his servant?
Oh, we also learned that the giants was there's so there was a reference to like brothers Scorm. I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but there's like Scorm and Scarm.
Yep.
But they're the same, and it's all dependent upon like whether or not the Well of Tears is active. Because the Well of Tears is like the eye of like the giant. Because like they're missing one eye, and like if like you put one eye in, like it becomes the bad giant.
Yep.
And so right now, as best as we understand, the good giant is in control. But had we gone to the other city and grabbed the Well of Tears and brought it back, we might have triggered the bad giant.
That is accurate.
Yeah.
So
and we learned that
yeah.
there's a If the eye is put back in again, then he will have immortality. But there's a tattoo on the head.
Yep.
And if
underneath the hair, yeah.
If we can destroy the tattoo, that would break the immortality.
That's it. There we go.
I just learned about all the mess going on here too with the I can't remember the little critters' names that are
The
irritated.
whiners.
The whiners.
Yeah.
They're irritated by the guy playing his harp. Was it
His horn?
Horn? We gotta go get the horn back, but probably find some way to satisfy them as well.
Yeah. So that's kind of, what our task is today. Our friendly giant here, currently friendly, he's actually very agitated because his horn is missing. And without his horn, he has a very hard time bringing peace to the dead that occupy the Vale of the Dead. The whiners did not like the sound of the horn, and it also caused damage to their, as the ghost put it, their hollow stone, or Harama put it. I don't remember which one. So they got rid of the horn. And so, that's, I guess, our task of the day is seeing what you can do to appease the giant so you can get some information, maybe get the crown, maybe not get the crown, but also get information on where this sword is, because the giant has ties to the sword, because the original wielder of the sword removed the evil eye, but was gravely injured in the process.
That was Viridia, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So, you're now standing next to the corpse of Harama in the partially destroyed hut. We can pick up from here. What do y'all want to do?
I think that if I recall, we were going to wait till evening for some of the whiners to come out to the garden since they go out there for food.
Okay.
I think that was where we left off being our plan. But
yeah, I think that was one of the things we were floating. Because going inside was dangerous, and we knew that some of them were coming out and like stealing from the untended like cabbage farms or whatever they were around here.
Yeah.
We had floated the idea of poisoning them if necessary, but I'm not sure if we settled on anything specific though. But I'm cool with chilling for a bit. I'm kind of in a bad mood. It was a rough conversation.
Yeah.
Brought up being around all these ghosts and death is just reminded me that I'm still alive. Soon, hopefully. Soon, I'll be able to join these fools. So yeah, he's in a mood.
Wait's always in a mood.
Yeah, but right now. This is me flavorfully saying he's down on some stats.
Okay. So if you all want to, rest it out, that's good by me. We can go ahead, it's safe enough to rest here. So you can all just hang out till nighttime, do any of your recovery things that you need to do. And we'll kind of kick things off. Let's see.
give me one more second here. Rasa keeps going on.
That kid. What am I looking for? It's too far. It's one of those things when I'm not actively needing to look at something, I can find it with no trouble. There it is. Cool. So you all kind of relax and rest through the day. Maybe every now and then you hear the dead shuffling around outside, but they don't give any issue. Maybe the Raven sister you helped, she drifts in and out every now and then to check on all of you. But it's as dusk is rolling around, you're all thinking like, all right, we can start putting our plans into motion to go out into these, orchards and try and do something with the whiners. That the door to the shack flies open. And this man steps in. Looks like an adventurer dressed in regular adventurer's type gear. Aha! I heard there was someone in here. Whatever. Listen, I was here first. I know there's treasure in here somewhere. Whatever it is, I get dibs. Maybe if you help me find it, I'll give you a cut.
I don't know who you are or what you're talking about.
What you talking about? We're all here for the treasure, right? There's supposed to be treasure in the Vale of the Dead.
No.
There's dead guys in the Vale of the Dead.
You're confused. This is the Vale of the Dead. You're looking for the Vale of Treasure. That's like 3 veils over. So
No,
go back the way you came, make a left, and just keep going until you find
I am absolutely positive as he kind of like starts like poking around the hut. You know, maybe he looks like he's on edge a little bit, keeping an eye out. But as soon as he kind of turns his back, you all see like 3 arrows sprouting out of his back.
Oh, that's not normal.
Might I have a word there, good sir? What's your name?
My name's Harb.
Harb. Bellari. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. I've been searching for this veil forever. I know there's treasure down here.
So, do we have some sort of a reflective surface of some kind?
I'll say there's some kind of mirror in here, sure.
Okay. So, let me show you something. And so I'll kind of position him so that he can kind of see what we can see.
Holy shit. I didn't even notice I've been hit.
So I think you might be now in the Vale of the Dead because you know,
Dead.
are now a resident of
What?
the
No.
Vale of
Welcome,
the Dead.
welcome home.
I was traveling out looking for loot, and then I got away from the bandits though. They didn't even touch me.
I beg to differ because see,
Why don't you give me a manipulation test?
I'm not the most empathic person. Yeah, no.
Okay. Does anyone else want to try and assist Bellari in this?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think he's looking a little dead. Just another roll, or
Yeah, another manipulation test. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, I tell you, they didn't hit me. I'm fine. I feel fine. Look, and he like starts jumping around, jogging in place. I'm not dead. I just made it here a couple of hours ago, and I heard there was other treasure hunters in here hanging out in this hut. So I just wanted to claim this is my claim. Any loot goes to me first. And like I said, if you help me out, I'll give you a cut.
Few questions first, if you don't mind. Who told you about other adventurers in the hut? That's question 1.
Oh, I don't know. I came across a couple people wandering outside, and they mentioned it while I was coming to get some fruit.
Okay. Couple people. Okay. Question number 2. If you were here first, how come we were here first?
I
You see what I'm saying? Like if you were here first, it would have been us coming through the door to find you here.
Well, I was in the Vale. I was looking around. I just heard you all had shown up and gone into the hut.
Right. So like anything in the hut is ours because we were actually here first, which is how, and the reason I know that, and just follow me here for a second, is because when you opened the door to come in here for the first time, we were in here.
Mm-hmm. And we've actually been here like all day.
Yeah.
And if people outside told you that there were other people in the hut inside, and that was
Reinforces
us.
that we were here first.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Anything you find in the hut is yours. I won't take any claim on it.
That's very big of you. Very
Anything here in the Vale proper, I get first dibs. If you all help me out, I'll give you a cut.
He can take it, and if he can leave the veil with it, totally fine. But if you can't leave the veil with it, then we get it. Is that fair?
Why wouldn't I be able to? Are you threatening me?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm thinking you'll find your situation's not quite what you think it is.
Listen, I don't know what game you're playing, but I'll tell you
Game
what.
wise, the one that you're not playing anymore.
I'll tell you what. Y'all are confused. I want to hang out with you for a little bit. Like I said, any treasure we get out there, I get the main cut. You all get a secondary cut.
Okay. That's very bold of you to come into a cabin with 6 other people and then tell them that you're in charge.
I am in charge. I'm the Great Harb, the treasure hunter.
Have any of us heard of the Great Harb, the treasure hunter?
You know what? I want a what do we got? A lore test or something like that.
I can give us a little lore if we want. I always gotta double check what my book does.
And so yeah, Steely Dan, you could do lore. Waits, if you wanted to, I would actually say you could do like a performance test, see if you can recall any legends
Any
or tales.
songs or okay, sure.
Yeah.
2 successes? I'll take 2 successes.
I got
Did you
3
just hurt your book
successes.
somehow?
No, I'd have to push it to
Yeah.
hurt the book. Which
So,
I
yeah.
will not do.
So Dan, you kind of hear from it as a more of you remember it, you recall it referencing your book for more of a historic thing. But wait, you also pull from you've heard, there's been poems about the Great Harb, an old adventurer, treasure hunter. And yeah, he was famous because he was one of the first adventurers to really figure out how to navigate the blood mist, 150 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a minute then.
Yeah. So yeah, he's, you've heard stories of all the, treasures he's stolen. Treasure hunter is one way. Thief is another way to put it.
2 sides of the same coin. I'm not here to judge.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually a really tragic, ending because he was actually killed on the road by bandits. The great thief was killed by lesser thieves.
I will I'll recount, and maybe I'll even play a little bit of the ballad of his death, and I'll say this is my favorite verse actually, and this is the verse where I'll start singing about how the Great Harb finally was embraced by death as bandits shot him in the back. It was tragic and small considering the grandiosity of his adventures to be ended and felled by such mundanity as bandits on the road.
Sure.
Trying to impress upon him that he's dead. Like the
Yeah.
songs about him say that he's dead.
Sure. And let's see here. He fails his little resolve test there. Oh God. Maybe they did hit me.
3 times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what was in the song.
I think I need to go lay down for a little bit.
Why don't you just lay down right here? It's fine. There's plenty of room. There's a
Yeah.
big old beanbag chair over there. Go lay down in that.
Ye old beanbag.
Don't mind the blood.
Don't mind the blood.
And it's kind of, as soon as you can see that recognition kind of wash across his face, with the two of you sharing that information, maybe the light shifts on him a little bit, and he doesn't. The fact that he is, the Walking Dead becomes very apparent. Like his sallow is sunken, gets very pale. Definitely takes the look of a walking corpse. And he goes and he lays down on the corpse of Harama and just kind of mutters to himself in sorrow, having remembered that he's actually dead and a resident of the Vale and not a raider of the Vale.
Good night, sweet prince.
Take some time there, buddy.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's,
you
you know,
Gladly trade places with you if I could.
well,
You know, you just did him a favor.
I suppose.
Oh, you did. When he first came in here, he was restless. And now he's no longer restless. He knows he's dead.
And he knows that any treasure that's in here is his to keep forever. So, you know, good on him.
There's
One way to look
something.
at it.
There's something particularly weak about an undead that's restless. It's that they can be controlled. And now you've given him his free will back.
Think he's able to leave the Vale? Do you think these folks are tethered to this place, or once they become aware of their condition, they're able to wander off?
I don't know. But if you really want to find out, we could always grab a restless and force it outside. Although I wouldn't advocate that.
Seems like a good way to cause trouble.
It's a very
Way to
good
have a
way.
bad
Would
day.
harm, you know.
It's also the wrong thing to do. You don't see me going around and gathering them up and telling them what to do.
We have plenty of other things to attend to. I'd rather leave it well enough alone.
Yes, I'm waiting for if any of them try to attack us, then I will take control.
That is a strategy.
you can see now out the window that it is night's fully set in.
Wait, do you
Oh,
need
you-
to sit for a quarter day?
Yeah,
I'll say
quarter
we've
day,
already got
whatever.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
you've sat here long enough. You've already had your full quarter day. Yeah. So if anyone's got recovery to do, you've had time to do it.
Good.
Do we want to wander over and lay some kind of trap by those little patches where the whiners come out?
Something like that, yeah.
It would be good if we could just talk to the bloody bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we just
You know, we
grab
may
one.
need to like kind of cut them off from running away, but I imagine that's probably what they'll do when we first approach them.
Or they'll, you know, poke us in the face with spears or something.
Mhm.
And also, it would help if we could talk to them without our ears exploding.
Well,
Mhm.
out here we can talk to them. It's just in the cave we can't talk to them. So
Right.
Anyone decent at trap building?
I'm not even sure what that would be. Survival, probably.
Yeah,
I
that would be
suppose
survival.
I could try and make one, but
Might be
I don't.
helpful.
I
don't
might be
know
able to
if I-
help somebody.
What was that, Adam?
I might be decent at making something, but I don't know if I could set it.
And y'all
But
could work
if you-
together on this if you want to try and come up with some form of trap.
Yeah.
Got 7
Hmm?
for a survival roll.
Okay, we should help you then. You're probably actually better suited to this than most of us.
Right.
With living in the wilderness for a long while.
Would crafting have anything to do with this?
I'll tell you
Or
what.
would it be strictly survival?
We'll let Bellari make this as a survival test, but if you're better at crafting, we'll just say you use your crafting ability. I mean, mechanically, I don't think it'll make any difference, but we can just flavor it. That's how you're assisting, is from a craftsman point.
Okay, then yeah, I'd like to assist.
Yeah. So, whoever's assisting, up to 3 people can assist Bellari in this.
I'll help.
So I think we got 2. So yeah, Bellari, if you want to roll it with a +2.
2 successes.
That's plenty good. What kind of trap are you all looking to make? Or do
Do
you
you
know?
want to do like the classic little like rope trick sort of thing?
It's like a snare.
Yeah.
Buried underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. So yeah, you spend a little bit of time. You find a tree with some very deliciously ripe looking like pears hanging off of it, and you set up a rope snare. You set a couple pins in there, that way you all can kind of like hide further back, and as soon as you see someone in there, you can give it a pull. It'll snap up a sapling, and it'll cinch the lynch or the snare, and hopefully capture someone. So Balari, I want another roll from you on this. Let me take a look at the party sheet. I'm actually gonna want a hunting check, so it'll still be survival.
All right.
So give me another.
One success.
Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, it's maybe 3 or 4 hours that you're all kind of waiting. You see the dead wander through every now and then. None of them really pay any attention to you. But sure enough, you do see a small group of whiners going through. They've got, little clubs in hand, little stone clubs as their weapons, and they're carrying baskets, woven baskets on their back, and they're gathering fruit and just tossing it back there. The three of them approach this pear tree, and they use their clubs to kind of thump on the trunk of the tree to kind of knock some pears down. One of them gets in the perfect spot for the snare, and you pull it. Snare goes tight, and you've let me double check something real quick, make sure nothing crazy happens. Okay, yeah, and it snaps tight, and you have captured yourself a whiner. It's now dangling by its foot upside down from the small sapling. Not
How many
too far off.
others are there in the party?
There were 3 altogether. You've captured one, and the other 2, as soon as the trap pops off, the other 2 bolt for it. Whether or not they've ran back home or they're just hiding somewhere nearby.
Oh, this is good enough to start with. We've got one to talk to. And if they didn't run away completely, maybe they can see that we're talking peaceably.
Balari will lower her crossbow that was at the ready.
Okay. As this whiner, as they spin around in the air, they're only maybe like 3 or 4 feet off the ground. It's grabbing and kind of reaching into its belt, pulling out a small knife, and it's trying to reach up and trying to cut the rope that's holding its foot. It hasn't made any noise yet, but you can see it kind of pauses every moment or two to kind of look around, big scared eyes kind of scanning the area.
Well, we want to go at it here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, why don't you slow down there, little guy? We'll get you down. We just need some time to talk to you.
And it's kind of stops and it stares at you and kind of like it twists its body around to try and rotate the rope around so it can kind of face you. And this real high-pitched voice, you stay back, I've got a knife. We were told that there were more of you tall ones out here. You're not going to get this. You're not going to eat me. Not today. You stay back or I'll cut you.
Okay. All right. And we're not too worried about that.
We're not going to eat you.
Not going to eat me. They all say that, and they lure us out. They capture us, and they try to eat us. It's not happening today. The others will be back with reinforcements. Just you wait.
What we really need to do is actually try to talk to you guys about something you stole from, the veil in here. Horn.
Horn. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know nothing about no horn.
Well, if you guys want to keep eating here, you probably need to bring that back because the dead are unhappy. They're upset. They're gonna stop tending to this garden. It's gonna stop growing food, and you'll starve.
That sounds like a manipulation test there, Dan.
It sure is. Something I'm not great at.
Hey, you pull a
But-
success.
One success.
Nice.
Can't give the horn back. If we don't give the
Yes.
horn back, maybe we don't have food. We do give the horn back, then we don't have a home.
Why would the horn keep you from having a home?
It's the horn. It breaks our rock. It makes our rock crumble.
Just your rock or all the rock?
Our rock.
I mean, maybe we can try to come up with some sort of compromise, perhaps.
There's no compromise. That giant oaf starts playing his horn, our rock crumbles, and our homes, our caves, our tunnels, our nests, it all falls apart.
It's just because he plays too loud, maybe?
I don't know what it is. It's something. Something
Are
with
you-
the note of the horn and the way it echoes in the temple.
Are you reinforcing your temples with beams?
No, we don't need
Your,
beams.
your tunnels.
Our rocks are good enough. It's just this horn. Something about it breaks our rock. Now, I would remind all of you, when you were moving through the temple, there was that one offshoot that had this strange looking rock kind of formed with like little tunnels and everything poked through it. And that's where you saw this creature, this other creature you saw kind of poke its head out and retreat back into.
Yep. I assume that's made of their rock, quote unquote.
But yeah, can't give the horn back.
Was the other little creature he saw the same as what we're looking at right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, there it is.
Yes, it is.
How do you make your tunnels?
We make our rock. The queen, she makes it. She has the old spells.
So it's not like bees, where they make their hives and stuff from basically eating nectar and regurgitating it.
No, it's not like, I mean, like bees, we make our own home, but she uses the old spells and she grows our rock.
So it's maybe like a magically formed rock. It could be that it's like, I don't know, weak to some property of the horn. But the magical horn, I don't know.
What it is, but I can't give you the horn back. We can find food elsewhere. We can go fishing in the deep rivers and ponds.
Maybe if you give us the horn back, we can convince the giant to stop playing the horn in such close proximity to your home.
Well,
Fortunately, that horn's very important to the passage of the dead here.
that's the dead's problem. We're quick and we're quiet and we leave them alone. And if they come at us, we run back into the old temple. They don't chase us there.
But what if there was a way that you could live in peace with them?
There's no way to live in peace with them. If there was, the queen would have figured it out. She's smart.
Is there a
Besides,
way?
we can't even do it anymore. We don't even have the horn anymore.
Okay. Is there a way to seek audience with the queen?
Who has the horn now?
First, the queen will never see the tall ones like you. You just want to eat her. She won't trust you.
And second,
Second, who has the horn? The orcs have the horn, and they aren't giving it back. They're big and mean, and we have to pay them off to keep them from eating us.
oh, what do you pay him with?
We give them wine.
Give him wine.
Mm.
Where do
Seem to
you get
recall.
the wine?
We take the fruit here.
But eventually,
The fruit that ain't gonna be growing soon on account of your stealing the horn, you mean?
exactly, which means that then the orcs aren't going to get their wine as a payoff, which means they're going to start eating you.
I guess you got a point there. But listen, you got to understand we're in a bad spot.
Oh
We
yeah,
don't-
that we understand.
If we
got
don't-
that.
Yeah, you guys are screwed.
If the giant doesn't get his horn back, sure, we'll lose our food and the orcs might try to eat us. But they're too dumb to come in the temple. They come in, they make big noises, and it makes their heads pop. We got little voices, and it doesn't make our heads pop.
But you guys still need to eat, right? And you don't have any food in the temple. You have to leave the temple to go get food. And when you leave the temple, there's nothing to stop them from grabbing you.
Yeah,
Their heads don't pop outside.
Orcs are.
I don't know. All right, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
You let me go, and I'll go ask the queen what to do.
Maybe you grant us an audience with the queen, or get her to grant an audience with us.
Well, you can't come in the temple and talk to the queen anyway. Your heads will pop too.
Well,
Yeah.
can't she come outside?
She can't.
Hmm.
She won't fit through the rock.
Okay. All right. Well, you can go discuss with her, and maybe we'll go discuss with the orcs.
Is there anything that we could do that could earn us some favor with her to increase her trust?
She likes gifts. You can give the queen a gift. I'd take it to her for you. She likes
What
sparkly
kinds of
things.
does she like?
I'll take out my chalice that I normally use to cast a spell with. It's like the prettiest thing I've got. Yeah.
She'd like that. All right.
You drink wine out of that.
You let me down. I'll take this to her. She won't be able to come see you, but maybe the king can come talk to you, and he'll talk to you for the queen.
Okay. All right. Now, when I go over there, catch it down. Don't cut me, please.
He takes his knife and he tucks it back in his belt.
Okay. I'll go get him
And
down.
don't you be eating me when you come over here.
I won't.
Dan, don't eat anybody.
Yeah, you go and you cut him down and you help him down to the ground. He's got kind of a clammy, almost kind of like slimy texture on his skin. But he darts off from between the bushes. A few moments later, he comes back like, I'll have the king meet you here tomorrow night. If he's going to meet you.
Okay.
Wait, isn't it the queen that's the one that makes the decisions?
Now, if the queen wants to make deals with you, she'll send the king out to talk to you because the queen can't get out.
Okay.
She's
Very
too
well.
big for making eggs.
Yeah. And we can't go in to talk either, or else we'll die.
Well, if we didn't make any noise, can she read? The queen read?
Yeah,
Does
she
know
can
how to-
read. She's smart. She's
We
as
can
smart
go
as
in
all
there.
of us.
We could compose a letter of some kind that she can get our words more directly.
If you want to write it up. But it's not safe for us to be all here talking this long. Got somewhere safe we can go while you do your writing?
Yeah, we got ourselves the cottage.
All right, good. So if we're out here too long and the giant hears us, he'll come try and squish us.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, so if y'all want, you escort him to the cottage. He's carrying that chalice that Huxley gave over. Huxley will probably, for giving that up, get you an extra experience point at the end of the night. Yeah, you make it into the cottage while he kind of waits there looking uncomfortable. Really kind of sweating as he keeps glancing over at the stove in the corner.
I
But
don't like the heat.
no, I know what that is. That's what you all used to cook us.
All right. Well, you stay over by the door, and we'll stay over here.
Go have a seat in the beanbag chair. It's comfortable.
He goes and he pulls up a seat next to Herb, whatever his name was.
There you go.
There's a kiddo.
So I'll compose a letter that's very flowery and and like deferential, and
Mhm.
will
Another minute.
ask for an alliance. We seem to have similar aims and goals. Enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing.
Yeah.
Request that we form some sort of understanding to maybe get rid of the orcs, get the horn back, and peaceful travel into and out of the Vale through the temple and such.
Yeah, give me a. I would like a performance test on this. It feels like this is more of an artsy,
Okay.
wordy
Calligraphy type writing.
Yeah. Getting your words and prose set just right.
Two successes.
All right. Yeah, you do a good job. Yeah, you get it written out. Looks great. You feel that your wordsmithing is just on point with it. And you send the little dude off. He's like, all right, if you're going to be here instead, we'll meet. I'll tell the king if he wants to meet you to come here tomorrow night.
That sounds good. Hey, let's do like a secret knock too, right? So tell him like 3 knocks in rapid succession. Then one knock. Then 16 knocks in rapid succession. And then 2 more after that are like slow and plodding. Got it?
All right. 3 knocks. And then 1 knocks. And then 10 knocks.
Yep.
And then... Okay. I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
As he
right.
darts out. Oh, go ahead.
Do you need someone to go with you? You're going to be fine all by yourself out there.
I'll be all right. I'm tiny. I'll stick to the shadows. The dead probably won't bother me. If they do, I'm quick too. They can't follow me into the temple.
How tiny I'm Waits. I'll introduce everybody else now that we know your name.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the first time I've had me a name, so nice to meet you. I'm Tiny.
Good to meet you too.
All right, so Tiny slips off.
Now, Valari, if you was to cook Tiny or any of his friends, would you use an oven?
Did he leave before you asked me this question?
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
The door is barely closing.
Those monsters.
I do my best in my cooking to use what comes up from the ground and only use creatures that breathe when necessary.
They are delicious.
I have not ever had the opportunity to cook Weiner.
I wouldn't recommend it because, well, as you can see, they're walking, talking, living beings. But they are delicious.
If anyone ever needed some serious healing, I can't guarantee I wouldn't avail myself of an available resource.
So essentially, you got, call it like 18-ish hours until Tiny's going to meet you back here.
Do we want to go and try and murder some orcs, or do we want to try and negotiate with them?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try and talk first.
It would potentially, probably wouldn't hurt to try to talk first, but I don't think we're going to be able to save the whiners quite so directly without removing them from here in some manner or another.
I can't help but entertain the thought that if only Mama Purdy was here, she could take out these orcs single-handed. Just pass the jug around until they all die.
Pass out, and then one by one. Boop, boop, boop.
There you go. All right. Anyway, so you all were making a plan.
The only issue with going back out towards the orcs is that we'd have to pass through the temple again, right? And we haven't yet gotten like approval for passage through it, and it might come across as,
We're dipping out on our agreement.
Yeah, that's the only negative there.
Okay, like maybe we want to wait
to make sure, just at a, hey, at a decency.
Politeness.
We could scout around here a little bit more if we want. See if there's anything on this side that's of interest or something like that. We just have to be careful because we don't want to piss off Scorm or alert Scorm to our presence.
We got to be very quiet.
Just gonna level with you all. I just scared the shit out of myself. Sitting here loading my pipe, and the little tassel from my book. Let's see my tassel. It's kind of hard. There it is. I was moving my elbow, and all of a sudden I look down and I see what looks like a little tail on my elbow. I'm like, I'm gonna be eaten by an asshole of a mouse.
It's coming for you.
It's coming for me. It knows. All right. So you want to scout around here, avoiding Scorm.
Yes.
All right. So throughout the day, you all kind of poke around carefully. Maybe you come across an undead or two that, you know, gives you a stink eye. Maybe a couple of them, you know, act aggressively but never actually do anything about it. You kind of move through and check out, like, we're going to call it the eastern walls. And in the eastern walls, you can see there's all these, there we go, my ping wasn't working, like crypts with these giant, like, seal stones set into it. And these stones, like giant boulders, that surely would have had to have been set there by the giant, just monstrously huge, like, you know, larger than a house, huge boulders set sealing some of these crypts. You come across one that is open towards kind of like the northern corner, like northeastern corner as you're looking around. And you can very clearly hear loud banging, yelling, just sounds of anger coming from inside. And you're going to give kind of the impression that's where that giant is hanging out. I will say, why don't I want to roll a die. Not anything to do with the giant, but, you know, he's in there being angry. Let's not roll that die. But you know, you get a sense, you know, that's where the giant is. He sounds very angry inside. As you kind of get closer to him, there's more like, kind of just like groups of undead or group spirits, walking corpses, just kind of loitering about, staring in the direction of that cave. But it, one of the undead breaks off and walks right up to you. You there, as he points at Waits.
Yes.
And you see this dwarven animated corpse, walking corpse, whatever you want to call it. Charred, bits of raggedy beard are still hanging off. His, you know, armor is, you know, just shredded, barely hanging on with straps. He carries a battle axe where half the blade has been broken off, like he hit something and just split down the middle. You're of kin of me.
Appears to be. What can I do for you, sir?
You also still carry breath in you.
I do.
I have a job for you.
A job.
I have a job for you.
I am all ears.
Nice to meet you, all ears.
Shut up, Dan.
You're going, when you leave this place, you're going to take me with you.
I am.
Yeah.
How
I'll
am
pay
I
you.
going to do that?
Well, if you escort me through the temple, I think I can get out.
Why do I have to escort you? Why can't you go by yourself?
I've tried before. Something about it. I just can't bring myself to step through.
Okay. Like, you feel physically unable to, or you change your mind?
Just
or...
deep fear in my belly. Like, I just can't. I want to, but I can't.
Okay. All right. I
There's
don't
something
see
out
what,
there you need.
I'm a dwarf. This isn't my resting place. I ended up here after I died. Monks brought me here after I fell to a demon. But I don't want to spend eternity here. I want to go back to where my people put their people. You know what I mean. I want to be buried in the stone halls under the earth.
I understand. No payment necessary to do such a deed for a kinsman, a member of the deceased. It would warm my heart to do such a thing.
I got a problem though. I've been here for a long time. My memory ain't what it used to be.
Okay.
Get me out of here and take me to a place where dwarves are buried.
I can do that.
Just let me lay to rest there. I wish I could tell you the name of the, where I came from, but it's gone now.
Well, anywhere is probably better than here, I would imagine.
It wasn't so bad before, but here recently, I can't think, but just, I just want to go home.
What's changed of late?
I don't know what it is. It used to be peaceful here. Used to be a music. But now it's gone.
We're able to help bring that back. Would that help you?
It might. But I really want to go home. Just let me.
I don't see any reason why we couldn't handle that. I kind of look at the rest of you all to see if any of you have an objection. I'm just sort of gazing across the group.
My axe isn't what it used to be, but I can still swing it. I can carry my weight if you bring me with you.
I have no issue with this.
Settle.
All right.
Is there a particular place where you remain? We can find you before we leave once our business here is done.
I'll tell you what. I'll wait for you over by the entrance to the temple. You take care of your business. And I'll be there waiting for you. My name's Garkal.
Garkal. I'm Waits, and I'll introduce everybody else. We'll be glad to escort you out of here, Garkal, and find you a more permanent and improved place of rest.
I appreciate that. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
And he wanders off back across towards the direction of the entrance.
I do have, when he's gone, I will say I do have a bit of a concern that once word that we are escorting the dead out of the Vale, might we get more requests for such services? And whether
Perhaps
that turns into a problem, I'm not sure.
It might. There might be some unhappiness about taking all of the dead out of the Vale.
Yeah.
But it's hard to turn down a request if you can. So.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I think restoring order here will help keep that from happening. So
it's possible. We'll see how he feels once we're able to treat with the giant, return the horn, etc.
So I think aside from just kind of looking around, we're probably just waiting until nightfall to talk with the king.
Yeah. You all, explore the rest of the Vale. You do see that every now and then that the giant does come out of his cave and kind of stomps around real angry like. Maybe chase off some dead here or there that are seem to be pestering him in some way, and eventually retreats back into his cave. But eventually night rolls around. You all retire to your little cottage. When you get back to it, the door's open, and Harb, whatever his name was, is missing. But you all go in, hang out for a bit, and eventually a tiny little knock comes to the door. There's 3 quick knocks, pause, another knock, a pause, and then just repeated non-stop knocking for like...
I'll go answer the door before we piss anybody else off.
Careful.
Do it
Guys,
nice
I'm
and gentle.
counting the knocks. Careful. We don't know.
I think they got it. I think they got the pattern.
I don't know. All right, go ahead.
So, yeah, you open the door, and you see Tiny there. And then you also see another whiner. This one looks different. It's got a little stone crown, like king's crown on his head, but his body's a little more portly, a little more rounded, and he's got these giant kind of bulbous eyes on the front of his head. As he steps in, I am the king, here to, hear whatever it is that you want to ask of our queen. I have given full authority by her to make any decisions, and she will honor them. She is appreciative of your gift, and she has used it to drink many glasses of wine this day.
Oh, good. Practical
I'll
gifts.
bow, by the way,
Yeah.
and then I'll look towards the others.
Yeah, we'll show some respect here.
Ha!
Your Majesty.
Good to know that the subtleties of dealing with royalty are not lost on all of the large folk. Now, what is it that you want of our queen?
An alliance?
To what end?
We need to recover the horn that the orcs have taken. We need to treat with the giant. He has, at the very least, information, if not other items that we have great need of. We have no love for the orcs on the other side of the veil, but at the same time, if we can avoid terrible bloodshed, we would like to.
Well, the orcs are under the queen's employ.
They are.
Yes, the queen pays the orcs in wine, and she gave them several initial gifts to earn their trust. And they guard us from any other intruding tall folk who might come for us to eat our sweet meats.
Okay. We seem to get the impression that they were eating you.
The orcs are not eating us. The orcs are protecting us.
Look over at Tiny. That is not the impression we were given. We were given more of the impression that there is an adversarial nature of your relationship between the Viners and the orcs.
Tiny would chirp in. Well, they are kind of jerks. But he is right. I mean, we do give them wine and they don't eat us. But I guess they also keep other tall people from not eating us.
Right. And when the fruit that turns into the wine runs out, how will you then pay the orcs?
And the king's like, this is a problem that we've the queen and I have discussed multiple times. The orcs stay on our employ because we provide them wine, and they distill our wine into the hooch that they drink. But yes, without the dead tending, we may get another season or two at best. The problem we have is initially we brought the orcs in because the horn. When the giant plays the horn, it causes our rock to crumble. And initially we had the entrance to the Vale blocked off. But as the dead would arrive, they would try and break through the rock, and the giant would play the horn, and it would all crumble, and we would lose our home. If you can find a solution where the giant gives us protection, but his horn does not destroy our rock, we would have no need of the orc. But the orcs have the horn.
Yeah, we can.
I've got a solution.
What is your solution?
Instead of
We
blocking
lure
it
the
with...
orcs into the hall and we make their heads explode. Easy.
Well, that's a part of it, but instead of rocks, build a door. Can be opened and shut.
We do not work with wood. We make our stone.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't saying you build a door. We find someone, whether it's ourselves or someone else. We have a door made that the undead can open and close. And if we could talk the giant into closing the door before he plays his own, he can play his own, and your home won't crumble.
Yeah, sounds more or less along the same lines I was thinking too.
So you build a door on the giant side of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, even before we would put up our stone and it would crumble the stone on the temple and it would crumble it deep in. The sound of the horn, it reverberates throughout the halls.
Yeah, the goal is to stop the sound of the horn from reaching the halls.
I'm worried a door won't cause it. Won't fix it.
How long have you lived here?
They'll say they've lived here maybe a year or two.
So this isn't an ancestral home.
No, this was the old temple for the Vale. We moved in here because it was unoccupied, and the halls here gave us some protection from the tall folk because they can't speak inside, but we can.
Have you thought about finding another home where you're not beset on multiple sides by a giant who plays a horn that ruins your home, and orcs on another side who will only not eat you if you pay them, which, by the way, is not an alliance. That's just you're paying protection services, essentially. Have you thought about finding somewhere more peaceful?
The journey would be too dangerous. All of us traveling across the land like that. And where would we even go?
Well, at the very least, we have land on which you can... How many of there are you exactly?
He would put out... there's roughly 40 some and 6 larvae coming up now.
Larva, okay. And are you all skilled with stone?
The queen is the only one who can create our stone, but once it's been created, all of us can work together to shape it.
Well, we can potentially afford you some protection within grounds of our home until a better site comes available to you.
So you're saying you have a home we could move to?
Right. You know, like you could stay on the couch for like, you know, a little bit until we find a more permanent solution. I can promise that we have no desire to eat you.
You don't.
You
But
don't
as
even
soon
have
as
to
we
pay
get,
us to not eat you.
well, that is a step in the right direction. And so far, you've not shown any of our kind hungry teeth, which is appreciated. But as soon as we arrive in your home and word gets out, other tall folk are going to come and trying to eat our sweet meat.
We have. Go ahead.
We have actually little interest in folks knowing where we live, so it is not a location that we discuss with many.
I will say that living in a place where we don't have to pay orcs to not eat us, and we don't have a giant on the other side trying to destroy our home, and not having the constant flow of dead trying to move through our home. I will tell you what. We will entertain the idea. But first, you will have to escort us to your home. Escort myself and a few others, so we can see if it will suit our needs.
That's fair. But we also need to have a somewhat pressing meeting with this giant, and to do so, we need that horn.
Very well. We cannot help you claim the horn. The orcs will not give it to us, and if we try to take it, it will not end well.
Do you know which orc or which of their buildings they are keeping the horn?
Yes, they keep it in the cave. I'm kind of
Okay.
pinging on the map there. If you can see it, my ping's very tiny.
Is that the place where we saw like the smoke and stuff and we
Yes.
bypassed it? Okay.
They use the horn as part of their still for making their hooch.
They use a musical instrument to make hooch.
Yes.
Well, now I'm just personally offended.
If you can claim it from them, return it to the giants, and then we'll figure the rest out after that.
Do you suppose you could use a soup stone to make hooch?
I don't know what soup is.
No, it's like hooch, but it's soup.
Like soup flavored hooch?
It's a liquid, and inside is food, and you eat it all together.
Maybe.
Want to give him anything though. We just got that soup, so
Is there anything that the orcs do need that perhaps could be open to a trade?
We convinced them they need the soup stone.
I mean, the only thing that we
Certainly
give
do
them
that.
now is our wine. We give them wine, they turn it into hooch.
Yeah.
We don't pay them money, we don't give them food. Just hooch, just wine.
Yeah, so we give them a wine stone. We give them a rock. We give them a rock and we tell them it's magic. And then we get a magic horn. That's how we do it.
We could do that.
I do think that we've just discovered a new sponsor for the show. UV Vodka presents their new line of flavors, Campbell. You want some clam chowder flavored vodka? You got it.
cream of
Absolutely.
chicken vodka.
Yeah, cream of chicken vodka. You want some chicken noodle vodka? We got it. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Chicken and stars vodka
For the kids.
for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So is that the plan I'm hearing? You're just going to try and convince them to trade you the horn for the stone?
The only other option would be renegotiating the deal that they will be cut off from wine unless they hand over the horn. I'm not sure they'll go for that.
Steal the horn.
Or stealing it.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they're going to be passed out at night. I could just slip in there and take it.
But if we
We
don't
made
want
it all the
orcs
way
to-
here without them even seeing us. So
You
I
did,
feel
yeah.
like we could
How
have
many-
gone into the cave.
How many of them are there? Asked the king.
I'm looking that number up right now.
Mm.
Let's see. They're led by Zug. Zug is their leader. And another one of those things. When I was studying this up before stream, I kept just coming across like, oh, they're talking about fucking orcs again.
It knows that you need the information.
Now that I need the information. I want to say it was 10 altogether, including Zug. Yep, 10, including Zug. All right, so there's Zug, their leader, and then 9 others.
It's not that many.
Not that many at all.
Go under the cover of night. Osborne tries to get into the cave. If it's guarded, then the rest of us can go in as well. One way or the other, we come out with the horn.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
You want to try talking first?
Good.
Or do
The
you
problem
just
is
want...
if we do try talking, the element of surprise is somewhat. So it's
Gone.
kind of.
Oh, we could go and talk during the day, and then element of surprise at night.
Now, the other problem is that we're going to be coming up from behind them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, with having snuck past them already.
Ah, yes. Well,
Yeah, they would be expecting you to come from the north, down the stepped cliff, not from the east from the temple.
a rub. There it is.
So is stealth the option? Send Osborne in at night?
I mean, we are in somewhat of an ideal situation to just try and steal it.
But
Nighttime now, isn't it?
it's nighttime right now. That's
I mean-
relatively early in the night.
Yeah. What
So-
better time than now? Who better than us?
No one.
All right, Osborne, are you going on your own?
I don't think he needs to go on his own. I mean, we can all cross through, I think, and wait.
To a certain degree, like we'll go through the temple and be within
Yeah.
vicinity, but like to go scout out the cave itself, I feel like that's
Yeah.
an
Okay.
Osborne solo
Sure.
mission right there.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you all move up to your position, kind of like the mouth of the temple. So if you need to, you can run across and back him up. Osborne, I want you to give me a stealth test.
Alrighty, here we go. That did not go well.
Do you want to push that?
I am going to push that. Okay, now I'm just going to spend the 2 remaining willpower I have to invoke my goblin talent.
Okay.
Get 2 automatic successes there.
Yeah, and don't forget you got a willpower for pushing that and taking that damage too.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, 3, all 3.
Okay.
I'm going to be sneaky boy.
Sneakiest of boys.
Indeed. Sneak lud.
Okay. Yeah. So are you spending just dropping 2 on him?
All 3, I thought he said.
All 3?
Yeah, I'm going to go all 3. Yeah, 3 successes on that.
Yeah, you move across. You can kind of see the main part of the orc camps a little to the northwest. But you move into the cave, and there's still kind of smoke. It's kind of thinned out from when you saw it last time. And moving into this large cave, it's filthy. It's scattered with refuse. You can see there's a couple of orcs passed out on the ground. You do see one orc setting in this stream like it was a bath. It looks like they're drunk. Their heads kind of rolling around. Not really all there. But where this stream feeds into this cave, you see a very odd still setup. It's got 3 components. It's got what looks like an old suit of like plate armor, like steel armor that's been kind of like hammered shut, setting over a fire. And the arm of this thing is rigged straight up, pointing into the bell of this giant cromhorn. And it's just this giant, think like a giant bugle or something, just a straight pass-through kind of horn. And the horn dips through this stream. So like the horn gets fed this steam. On one side, the stream pours over the horn, which then condenses the booze, and then it's dripping out into this giant, just barrel, like half-barrel vat of hooch.
So they actually use it as part of their distillery.
Yes, they are. But you can see the horn there. It's supported by some ropes holding it in place. And it's a big horn, like...
Oh, okay.
It's big. Like, it's probably...
It's a horn for a giant, and I am a goblin.
Yeah.
Is there anything soft nearby?
Like what? What are you looking for?
I don't know, like just a pile of hay, some like soiled loincloths or something.
Yeah, you can. There's animal furs, animal hides that have been kind of roughly cut off. There's some tattered blankets and cloths, maybe piles of just disgusting looking clothing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to pile up some stuff underneath the giant horn.
Yeah.
And try to cut it free.
Sure. I'm gonna make you roll for that though.
Oh boy.
I think I'm gonna make you roll me a sleight of hand test.
Oh boy. Gotta believe. Oof. Gotta believe a little harder. Oop, wait a minute. No, that was... Yeah, I messed that up.
Just roll it again.
Yeah. There we go. Ugh.
Your agility is down to 1. You take another WP. As you cut it down, the horn kind of swings a little weird than what you were expecting. And the suit of armor kind of clatters and rattles around. And that drunk orc in the stream, what the hell are you doing? You're so tiny. Oh, shit. As he starts clambering around and he picks up a club and he leaps out of the stream just completely naked. You aren't stealing our hooch. As he starts yelling over at the two sleeping orcs. Trying to wake them up. Give me just a second. No, it's not in that folder. It's in this folder. Let's see. I want...
That's your chance to tell him you're the maintenance goblin and you've got important work to do.
I was going a completely different direction, but Goblin was going to be a part of it.
Yeah, the other two are just out cold.
Cool. I'll look at the other two who are out cold, and then I'll just like hold up my hands and wriggle my fingers and be like, yeah, I'm the hooch goblin, and I'm stealing all your hooch. You'll never catch me. And I'll just take off running.
So those of you outside, you see Osborne come sprinting out of the cave entrance. This evil little cackle as he's running towards you. And just a moment later, you see this big kind of burly, completely nude orc come bolting out after him, club in hand. He's kind of stumbling and kind of like not moving. You know, he's very obviously drunk. Chasing after him like, God damn it, you little hooch goblin! I'm gonna get you!
Maybe if we just knock him out, nobody will believe that I saw anything.
Well, I think I just want to go ahead and do initiative.
Okay.
Wait for him to come into the temple because he's so drunk he's probably going to keep talking and pop his own head.
Or that. I mean, just if he runs in while Bob's or Osborne's in there, it might kill him too, though.
There's
Let's
that.
see.
Don't worry, I can outsmart him.
That track. Cool. All right. Does anyone got any initiative tomfoolery? All right.
Just me.
What? Let's try this. Click that button. Ideal. Dan, how many do you get?
3.
Oh, that's right. That doesn't work. God bless it. Ah, that Savage Worlds card thing is just so fantastic. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna roll 3 times. What's your best roll there, Dan?
It's like a 5.
All right.
Lower is better, correct?
Let me double check.
I gotta remember, like, get it straightened out because it's different in each of these games.
I do. Well, mainly my problem is that I always forget to turn on reverse initiative order. So yeah, Dan takes that 5. All right. All right, and let's see. Adam, you get the 9. Is that right? Yeah. Jake, you're gonna get an 8. Jeff, you're getting a 3. Melissa, you get a 6. And the bad guy gets a 7. So I'm going to have you feed those numbers back to me in a second. So let's see. Melissa, you had a 6.
Yep.
Adam, you had a 9. Jake, what was yours? Was it an 8?
Yep,
All right.
8.
And Waits is going to get to go first with that 3. All right, Waits, what are you going to do?
How close am I to him?
We're going to say across this. I'm going to put it like 50 feet.
Okay. And
I guess
okay.
that would be what, engage, short, medium. We'll call it medium range.
Okay. And he's just like running around chasing Osborne naked, like kind of. Okay. I am going to move up a little bit, and then I'm going to use Path of the War Cry.
Sure.
And I am going to kind of create. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I should do like. All right, it'll be funny. I am going. Is he yelling "Hooch Goblin"?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so I want to try.
Oh, yeah.
So I want
catch
to
the Hooch Goblin.
So I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna start like screeching towards him and talking about, kind of yelling about how, like, he who chases the Hooch Goblin is never seen again. No one chases the Hooch Goblin. Like all sorts of like threatening things to sort of reinforce like how scary and dangerous what he's doing chasing the Hooch Goblin is. And so I am using Path of the War Cry. And I will burn 5 willpower. So he can go ahead and make an insight test.
Okay.
To resist some of this.
Insight right there. Did it roll? My Foundry's acting real odd.
I've known the Hooch Goblin would come for you someday.
I'm just
He who chases the Hooch Goblin is forever cursed. Yeah, mine's not actually letting me remove my willpower, but
mine's not letting me roll anything.
Well, clearly then that means you don't.
Oh!
Oh God.
Okay, there it goes.
That was all the dice I tried to roll. Let me try that again. There we go. Yeah, he fails.
So he takes 5 points of wits damage.
Oh, that might be.
That's more wits than what he has, so he's broken. Yeah,
So I'm trying to literally strike fear into the heart. It's one of the things I can use Path of the Work Eye for. So I'm trying to make him afraid and scared of the dangers of chasing after the legendary Hooch Goblin. No one chases the Hooch Goblin, for if you chase him, you just might find him, and you have now found him. So something like that.
he stops in his tracks. I didn't want any trouble with the. I just didn't want it to. As he turns and he starts running off into the darkness.
Probably gonna go have to get that horn before he wakes up more of them, and they.
Now's the time. Chop, chop.
Yeah, I cut it free. Come on, let's go get it.
So yeah, sure enough, yeah, you all run in there. You see the other two orcs still passed out on the ground. You finish up the job that Osborne started. You cut, and you haul the horn back into the temple. What do you want to do with it? You've got the horn. It's large, like it's man-sized.
Well, maybe we can take it back to the back to that little cabin to start with.
Yeah, just get it to the other side of the deadly hallway.
Okay.
Yeah, before anybody comes running in after us. Probably screaming.
Sure. Second in combat. That was nice and quick, thanks to Waits there.
That was.
I was just gonna say, boo, and that was it. Just to say that.
Yeah, so yeah, you make it through the temple. You know, no one speaks, so no one's head explodes. Waits, I want you to give me a performance test.
Okay. Am I using an instrument or am I just like acting?
No, specifically, this is going to be your, you know, you're up and personal with this instrument. You know, you're going to notice some things about this instrument. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. 2 successes.
It's a lot of dice, yeah.
Full of hooch residue.
You can actually see that the there's some little like micro cracks here and there along it. Maybe it was caused by the, you know, being used as a still, maybe not. But you can actually see that the mouthpiece on it has got some odd damage, like it's malformed a little bit. And the main thing is like with this kind of thing, like this horn will never be in tune. But you feel confident enough that you can fix it. Just heat it up, maybe hammer on it just a little bit, and you can get it back into shape to, then you should be able to tune it. So it, you know, actually,
when we're out of the halls, I will say, because I will not say this in the halls.
Yeah.
You know,
We can fix it.
Yeah. Hey, God. I will say, you know, it's possible that the reason the horn is suddenly causing so much trouble is that the notes it's playing are so sharp or flat that it's creating strange resonance within the stone. If we could actually spend some time and fix the damage, it's possible that the notes that the giant would then play in the horn wouldn't have the damaging effect on the Winer's home.
Yeah, that might
we wouldn't
be
have
quite
to
a solution.
bring them into our house.
Yeah, we may still have to do something about the orcs, perhaps, but perhaps not.
Well, now there's. Oh no, I was about to say, well, now there's only 9, but I'm sure he'll recover at some point.
Let's see what we can get done with the horn first, and if it fixes the stone, then we'll know. Then
I don't think it's going to repair the stone. It's just when he plays it, it might not cause additional damage.
Yeah.
See, when you play music, especially horns of this type, it's vibrations, resonance that moves on out, and that can have an effect on physical objects, including stone.
Yeah.
So if the wrong vibrations are being sent out, then they could be having significant damage. And the lung capacity of a giant is considerably larger than mine, so I would imagine the strength of those notes are considerable.
So we're looking for good vibrations.
That's true.
That's right. That's
Wonderful.
right.
Wonderful. So, yeah, you all move it through. You get it back to your little hut. Waits, you know exactly what you need to do to get this thing fixed up. And yeah, you're all in your hut now with the horn. And it should play better than it did before, at least. So, what are your next steps?
Well, do we
Do we
wait
want to go
for
straight in, or do we wait?
do we wait for daytime to go in there, or maybe we find somebody who can try and take us to him first or something? I don't know. It seems like he's just gonna be in a pissy mood no matter how we go at it.
You do have
Maybe one of the dead people can do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you do have your dead friend, your dead dwarven friend, waiting for you at the entrance.
I'm going to be right back.
Yeah. You want an envoy or something, it could be easy enough to ask him.
Perhaps we should also let the whiners know that we're going to be trying this horn. Because if it doesn't work, then that would be a betrayal.
I don't know how we talk to them at the moment.
Easy. You go in there and you stick your hand in the hive.
We just do one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Maybe we can get one of them to come talk to us tonight, even.
I think it would be a good idea if we let them know of that first.
Okay.
That's fair.
Who's going to go try and get the Whiner King to come back out?
I'll do it.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll go to the dwarf, so I'll go with you since we're going in this general direction.
Yeah, you two make your way across. You find that dwarven friend who... what exactly are you asking him?
Well, in order to get you out of the veil, we need to treat with the giant, and no disrespect, we figure that if it's an angry giant, it might be better if somebody who is already dead to make the introduction and say, we come in peace and would like to treat, parlay, as opposed to us wandering up with his stolen horn and him presuming we are thus the ones that stole it.
Listen, Ken, you're going to do me a greater honor than I could ever imagine. I would be honored to do this for you. Yeah,
cool.
Just tell me when you're ready. And I will go over there and I will ask our large friend to come out and have a word with you.
Yeah, we're just going to go and let those Whiner folks know, and then I think we're going to get going. You want to come hang out? We got a big beanbag chair, room for everybody.
Sure, I'll wait for you in your hut. I've never sat in a beanbag chair before.
Super cushy. Super cushy.
Okay. I'll meet you there.
Gets cushier by the day.
Starting to reek a little.
I was wondering about the order.
Or gushier.
It's going to get a little softer, and then it's going to get a little harder. Then it's going to get a lot softer. Then it's going to get a lot softer.
Let's just hope we're not there for that time.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be out of beans.
Around and
Yeah, it's going to be out of beans.
The beans only last for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get them. The two of you can head in there. Huxley, how are you trying to get their attention?
Huxley will walk up to the entrance of their hive and, wait for a bit. Like he'll scuffle his feet so that there's some noise.
As soon as you do, a moment later, like you see a little pair of eyes kind of deep down one of these tunnels kind of peer out, and you can see it kind of like eyeballing you.
I'll do this.
The eyes kind of disappear, and then a moment later you see the giant bulbous eyes come out of the darkness of the king. You have news for me. Let's step outside so you don't explode.
So I walk outside.
Yeah, as soon as you guys get out of the cave entrance, you're free to talk. Or the temple entrance. He's like, I have report of you all carrying the horn through the temple.
Yes, and White here has an idea that he'd like you to hear.
Very well.
Just the horn has been playing improper notes because it's been damaged, and those improper notes could very well be the reason why you're suddenly seeing damage to your home. I've repaired the horn, so it's possible now that when the giant plays it, your home won't suffer any damage, and then you and the giant can go on living peacefully together.
Okay. Oh. So you're saying you've made it so the horn won't break our rock?
I believe so. It would need to be tested for confirmation, but I believe so.
We're taking a risk on this, but you're going to give it to the giant and have the giant try it. Is that your next step?
I believe that's the best thing to do. I could try it myself, but as you can, the giants are bigger. The horn is bigger.
Yeah.
His lungs are bigger. It would have as an experiment, we would need the giant to try it.
Yeah. It might be the most ideal solution that doesn't require you to go anywhere, though.
Indeed. As much as we would love to have you at our home, I'm sure you don't want to go traveling if you don't have to.
I agree with this. And if we can get the giant to protect us, that would be even better.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what. We'll prepare just in case our rock collapses. If it does, then we are going to be totally and completely dependent on you to help us find a new home.
Okay.
Gotcha.
If it doesn't, and we can stay here safe from the tall folk and safe from the orcs and at peace with the giant, we'll be indebted to you, and I'm sure the queen will want to reward you all.
How much time would you need to get your safety nets in order?
Maybe an hour.
Consider it an hour then. And we'll head to the giant in a little more than an hour and begin our peace negotiations.
Okay. Yeah, the king goes back inside, out of view. Your dwarf friend meets you at the cabin. An hour can lapse if you all want. And let's go through this next step.
Yeah.
So what's up?
Oh, I mean, we wait for the hour and then have the dwarf make us an introductions,
Sure.
unless, like, Osborne, do you need to rest anymore?
My knees are shot, so if you just, kind of carry me around for a bit, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll throw him back up on my shoulders. I'll be his mount for a bit.
Yeah, he's got one agility left.
Sure.
Oh dear.
There you go. Yeah, so our dwarven friend, let me look at his name again. His name was Garkal. Great name. He goes into the cave. You can hear the yelling of the giant inside the cave, and eventually it's like kind of calms down a little bit, and out walks the giant, ready to treat with all of you. Let me pull up the image of Scorm. Now, this isn't exactly what Scorm looks like because it's more Cyclops, but, it's the giant picture that's in the book. Did that show up for everyone? Did y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Got it now.
I don't know. It's acting weird.
It's working. I got it now.
It's working for
Crouching
me.
man for scale and all.
Okay. So yeah, as Scorm walks out in this big booming voice. You've all asked for an audience. I give it to you now. Do not waste my time, for my mood is foul and my stomach is empty.
We could perhaps fix one of those problems for you. Maybe two?
No, definitely
thing is
just the
so
one,
big.
Dan.
Well, I mean, we got soup stone. Maybe we could make him some soup.
I feel like this thing is so big we can't really hide that we now have a
Yeah.
horn. It's not like I'm holding it behind my back as a
You have my horn. Are you the ones who stole my horn?
No,
Oh,
not from you. Actually, we stole it from the people who stole it from the people who stole it from you.
yes.
We're returning it, is what we're saying. We
Triple stealsies.
the details of how we acquired it are not important so much as to say that we're bringing your horn back and hope to exchange information. And if I can be so bold, we've heard the possibility you have something we might need, and I felt
Or information that we could use.
information and something specific that we might need. And it seems that
You all make too many words, as he storms by you and picks the horn up.
assembling on it. They let go.
And he plops down on the ground next to you and he starts playing. Just this deep, melancholy, like sorrowful, like booming music comes out. And you can see all the dead in the veil kind of shift their gaze onto Scorm as they come up and just form like these like concentric circles and start dancing around Scorm as he plays.
You should mention that nice work he did on his horn. He should probably notice that it sounds even better.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
As you can see, the horn is actually playing in tune once more. Is it not? Great
he
score.
he gets through his little bit of music and he stops. He's like, "Yeah, this sounds pretty great. It hasn't sounded this good in centuries."
Unfortunately, it's been cracked and broken.
Oh,
And in
those
fact-
were already there. But
Oh.
the mouthpiece feels different. Is that what you changed?
Yeah, it's got a different mouth feel now, doesn't
It
it?
does. You did a great job. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I feel so much better now that I got my horn back. This is great. Look, everyone's happy again.
Yes, they are.
So, you all said you needed some information?
And maybe a reward?
Okay. What do you got? What do you want? What's up? Y'all hungry? I got fruit.
Oh, we're good for now.
I mean, I could eat.
Sure.
Osborne,
And he
hungry?
kind of leans over and whispers to a group of dead, like, "Hey, can you help our guests? Like, they could use a little snack, a little something, a little peckish." And the undead kind of wander off into the orchard, start gathering, a nice little fruit meal for you. They make you a fruit salad.
Nice.
They're even smart enough not to include tomatoes, so they
Who puts freaking tomatoes in a fruit salad?
monsters. That's who.
Oh God, I would have pulled the sword out at that point.
So he's like, "Yeah, man, like, what's going on? I'm happy to talk. Like, I get plenty of guests. I got my friends here with me, but it's always good to, come across people who, aren't going to be staying with me forever."
Sure.
Sure.
Well, we
yeah.
got a couple things going on for you,
questions,
in fact.
Well, go ahead.
We can start with, I think, the simpler one, maybe. You familiar with the whiners in the cave nearby?
Yeah. Yeah,
We're hoping.
they're the ones that stole my horn. I'm not
Well-
super happy with them.
We're thinking we may have found a way to fix that relationship by
Oh.
tuning your horn. Maybe it'll stop breaking their home. Maybe y'all can be nice with each other now. We're waiting to find out if that helped or not. If not, then we'll try and find a way to relocate them.
You know,
Yeah?
While you all are talking to our newfound friend here, maybe I should go and check and see if the horn did damage the helm.
Yep.
I could be back in a bit.
Okay. I'll
Do
tell
you
you
mind
what.
coming with me
I can go with you.
as I look up at Osborne?
Yeah, I guess I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah, Belay, you'd be more than welcome to come as well.
Okay. Well, we can pause the talk with Scorm, because I'll tell you, you make it over there, and you can you see the king standing outside the entrance, and as you approach, it didn't break anything.
That's good to hear.
This is fantastic. We don't have to leave. Fuck the damn orcs, right? Can you make sure that the giant's going to be cool if we, hang out here and eat some of their fruit and stuff?
We can propose that. He is in an extraordinarily good mood,
Okay.
if that's a word.
But yeah, before you leave, the queen's getting it ready. She has a present that she would like to present to all of you.
Ah,
It's not death, is it?
No, no.
Okay, good.
It's whiner serum turns you into a whiner.
Oh no.
Osborne, we're still going to have to take care of those orcs out there.
I was
Yeah,
wondering-
they're not gonna mess with me. I'm the hooch goblin.
they're not gonna take the destruction of their still lightly.
Well, perhaps we'll have to do a bit of divide and conquer.
Perhaps. Although, if the whiners really want them to stay there, don't mind continuing to pay them wine, we could maybe find some solution to repair the still, and they can keep their contract if it matters.
I suppose we could do this all peacefully.
You could buy some peaceful talkie time by telling them you killed the hooch goblin.
Yeah.
Hooch goblin. I guess if you say it's going to work, we'll give it a shot. Okay. Well, before
It's worth
you
a
all,
try.
yeah, I mean, find out what you can. I'm happy, you've done us great service, so you're getting a reward no matter what. But the more you can do, I'm sure the queen will be able to think of something else.
Yeah. Perhaps they could make like a stone in the shape of that piece that we stole. The horn was basically like a collector, right?
Yeah, we could do that.
That way they could repair this. If you want to keep them there, if you don't want to keep them there, that's another thing. But if you do want to keep them there,
Okay. Well, we'll give it some thought, and before you leave, we'll find you, because, like I said, the queen is going to have something for you.
okay.
That's wonderful.
Okay. So you all go back, meet back up with Scorm, give the thumbs up. Waits, you've been exchanging some musical notes here and there with Scorm. So as soon as you give out, all right. So yeah, you had other questions.
These ones might be a little tougher.
I'm just gonna put this out there. The standing guy's crown. You have it?
Yeah.
We need it.
Why?
Suffice to say, forces are amassing that is attempting to piece it together and get the gems and the rubies and the emeralds or whatever the hell the stones are, and we're aiming to stop it.
They're not so well intended.
That the Ziogfur, the sorcerer, is not involved, is he?
He is indeed.
And you're trying to keep it
No.
away from him. He's a foul creature. I chased him out of here.
And, yeah, his son is also attempting.
Being manipulated by a Dalb.
His son is attempting to collect it. And
Dalb. I don't know this Dalb, but
Marigal, is that a name
Marigal,
you're
that's
familiar
right.
with?
I know this Marigal. He is.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to figure him out yet. He's passed through several times. As far as I can tell, he's only interested in chaos and destruction.
Yeah. The Road Runners are also at play in this, if you're familiar, too.
I'm familiar with the Red Runners, yeah.
They don't seem a good plan for it either.
They haven't given me any trouble. I had, I've worked with the elves for many, for ages in the past.
They wish to expel most everyone from the Vale, though.
Well, that's not good. All dead are welcome here at my Vale.
Well, not just from the Vale, I guess, but from the Ravenlands.
That's tough. So if you get all the pieces, your aim is to keep it away from them.
That's correct.
How are you going to do it?
To be determined.
I would... Sure.
We know that they know where the pieces are now, so we're hoping to take them to where they don't know, to a degree.
Have you talked to the Raven sisters yet?
Not yet. We have not found a good contact for them.
They were the original peacekeepers between the elves and the dwarves, and the humans who were traveling north from the Alderlands.
Interest in reaching them if we could.
It'd be nice, but unfortunately we keep finding them after they're dead.
Oh, that's too bad. Many of them here recently have made their way to me. I wish I would have been in a better mood to help care for them. But with this horn now, I'll be in better shape to do so. So I am indebted to you. Hang on, it's another one of those things where earlier today.
It's not.
Damn. Okay. Well, if you want to speak to the Raven sisters, and I would suggest you do. Who you're looking for is they're Virelda Bloodbeak. I do not know how to find her. But if you can find another sister, they should be able to point you there. With the foul rust wandering around these lands, it's not safe for the Raven sisters to practice in the open anymore. But, if you ever find an old woman in a village practicing the healing arts, I would suggest you ask them.
Very well.
I don't know if we've encountered anybody quite like that yet, have we?
Give me an insight test. Is there an insight in this? Too many games.
Yeah, there is.
Give me
There's
an
insight.
Give me an insight test, Dan. I'll give it to you. You do remember the midwife in the Hollows. You never really interacted with her much. But she kind of fits the ticket. Older woman, heals everyone, kind of odd and eccentric, stays to herself.
Okay, that might be a good place for us to go.
Rozzy, you know how to karate chop? You want to karate chop your dad for me?
What did you say?
Karate chop your dad for me.
You know how to karate chop?
I don't know.
It's like,
all right,
it's like this.
Just call him a fart then. We'll be good.
All right, there she goes.
All right. Anyway. Yeah, I got the crown. And keeping the stones out of the hands of anyone in that bloodline is imperative. I don't know. I mean, Yogver already let all the damn demons here into the Forbidden Lands. Caused the blood mist. I mean... Okay.
We also need some information about a certain sword, too, that you may know of its resting place.
That slays giants. Not that we want to slay you with it.
My skin that, has felt the cut of that sword before.
Do you know where it might be or who might have it?
I know where it is, yeah.
Could you direct us to it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome.
That was easier than I thought it might be.
So, the sword, after What's-Her-Face died, if I'm not remembering the names at the moment.
Viridia, I think.
Viridia. After Viridia died, defeating my brother and giving me control, we took her emerald and placed it into the hilt of that sword. And then it was taken to the Stone Loon mines by the dwarves to keep safe.
Well, that might be a great place for us to go get two things done at
Is
once.
that a place I would possibly know,
Yeah.
being of dwarven heritage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stone Loon Mines was great, wealthy mines. Produced a lot of good coinage. But you would know from the stories, hang on a second, that at one point, Ziogfer, his wife, and one of his sons escaped and went to the dwarves for safety. And to repay them for that, Ziogfer released all sorts of vile, evil things into the mines. So the mines are a dangerous place that no one would ever want to rightfully go to. But the dwarves hid the sword deep in there, and there's never been word that it came out. And the few dwarves that have passed through here with me reaffirmed me that the sword was still safe. Oh, you wanted the crown too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Does the crown do anything special other than hold the stones?
Well, first and foremost, it holds the stones. It's said that, anyone who reunites all the stones with the crown will have the power to rule over all of the Ravenlands.
And how quickly does that take effect? You see, we've talked about it before. We didn't know if it, if once you combine the stones, if it was something that took a while, if it was, like a snap.
My understanding is it just gives you the power to, like, the magical energies of the lands and the powers of creation from the elves will,
Bend to your will.
yeah. So it's not like, it's not like a snap and it happens, but you'll be able to easily push your will over,
It's
everyone.
more like one that binds them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Is there a way to, if we were to destroy the crown, would that take away any opportunity for those other jewels to be used? Like if this is what facilitates that, could we destroy this?
The crown is a vessel for the gems.
Right.
The crown on its own, it has some of its own properties, but it's not going to do anything.
But if we took away the vessel, is there some other way that they could use the gems to create that power? So if we took this vessel away, does that mean they could never bind them together to
Or would it just be a matter of making another crown? I mean, is it simple math?
It's a two-step. I guess I see your point. The crown binds the powers together. So yes, if you destroy the crown, they should be free. I think only an elf would be able to reform the crown. But they haven't had that kind of ability in a long time with the Ravenlands being broken like they are.
Would they have to reform it from the pieces of this crown? Like, are the materials of this crown essential? Or is it just having that smith and know-how?
It would be
Doesn't matter.
It would be far easier if they had the pieces of this crown. Now, I will share with you some things. I've spoken with the Red Runners before. If you were to take the stones and throw them back into the still mist, it means that those elves would be able to reform their material form and exist in the still mist, removing the gems from the world.
Oh,
Now, I will say there's another thing, that the crown with all of the gems is what Geographer used to open the Proto-Nexus. And that's what let the demons flood in.
So presumably it's possible to close the Proto-Nexus then with the crown.
I think so. But
So
I
we
would be
pushed our luck.
I would be really worried that if you did that, it would destroy the elves whose rubies those are. Those are the rubies of the elves that created all the life in the land here in the Ravenlands. Well, back then, both sides of the continent, the Alderlands and the Ravenlands. It wasn't until, the Great Split that the elves were confined to just the Ravenlands.
So,
there might be merit in just returning them. then.
yes. I mean, isn't that what you would want if something happened to you? As I look
Absolutely.
to Dan.
I mean, just personally speaking, I would hope to be returned there.
Yeah. If you're taken back to the Still Mist, your life's not ever truly over until your ruby is destroyed.
Do we know where the still mists are?
Dan would be able to point out where it's at. On the world map, it's super far to the north. Dead center on the top of the map. My pings. Either I'm zoomed too far out or they're not working.
Conveniently, it's straight above
The
weather
hollows.
stuff.
Yeah.
Inconveniently, it's through the forest that is controlled by our rather overpowered friend.
Whatever. It's a pushover. We could take him. All I gotta do is go in there with the willpower, yell at him, and then he'll cry a little bit.
Yeah.
Stab.
Yeah.
Right,
I
Balari?
think so long as we don't take anything from the forest as we pass through, we might not have problems with him.
I mean, that's a problem for a different day. There's ways around. Okay.
So is the crown safer here, guarded by a big giant?
No,
Perhaps we split them. We leave the crown here and take the rubies? Or
I don't think leaving anything with Scorm, no offense, Scorm, is a good idea. I don't want to upset you, Scorm, and this might upset you, but we have heard that if someone were to take the well of what the hell was it called?
Well of Tears. It's where
Well
my
of
other eye
Tears.
is.
and it's controlled by
A different version of you
Yep.
would overtake, and I don't know if that version is what's considered the good giant.
Oh, no, that's my brother Skarn.
I heard he's a dick.
He will try and kill everything. And I mean
Exactly.
everything. Not just everything he sees. Everything.
Right. So
We wouldn't
don't
want
know.
him to have the crown.
Exactly.
I can dig that. I can dig that.
All right, we're seeing eye to eye. I mean, sorry, I know you only got one of them.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Eye to eyes.
yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
We're on the level.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not on the.
You're very
agree.
short. Yes.
Just stop.
But I dig, right?
Okay, got it.
So I'll tell you what. If you found me here looking for the crown, it's only a matter of time until someone else does.
Exactly.
And if someone else were to show up with my other eye, all of a sudden my body would be torn. I don't know if I could hold off Skarn again. Not without, the greatest warrior in the history of the Ravenlands had to help me last time, and she fucking
I'm
died
afraid that's
because
not
of it. And she had a magical sword and everything.
Yeah.
And,
I'm afraid that's not else.
I don't know who has the other eye, but
We do.
We have a lead on it.
where at?
It was. Hang on. We've heard that it's possible that the Rust brothers might be in some control over it down in Vond.
His face goes just white at that word, at that information. You got to take the crown. You got to get it out of here.
Can the other eye be destroyed by any means?
I don't know. The only thing I would know that you can do is you could kill me. If the body dies, then neither eye can take control.
I don't really want to kill you, but I mean...
I don't want to die either. I do good work here.
I think that's important to continue.
So how do we stop you from changing?
The other eye, you got to get rid of the other eye. Yeah?
We need to go and take
just
the other
keep
eye.
the other eye away from me. I mean, that's the easiest.
What happens if we took out the eye you currently have right now and you were just a blind giant completely?
Well, if you took out my other eye, my body would probably die. Or stay here mindless, just comatose, maybe? But then, you know, I would have no chance of defending myself against Skarn.
We heard something about a tattoo.
Oh, yeah, it's on the top of my head.
You got a tat on your head?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, underneath my hair. He points like it's right up there. It's what the, you know, the people who left me in charge of the Veil of the Dead, they gave it to me. That way I could live forever. But you destroy the tattoo, I can be killed.
Should we kill you, Scorn? Let's be honest.
I don't want to die. I'm doing good work here.
Kill you. I agree, but
you know,
I think we need to get rid of the other eye before we go about.
You know, you pretty much, if I ever get word that there's someone coming here with the other eye, the first thing I'm going to do is cut that tattoo off the top of my head.
Do you think you would have the fortitude to do such a thing?
Yeah. You know,
Perhaps.
I hope.
Perhaps. Let me just throw this idea out here. Now that you've got the Weimers, we've figured out a good relationship for them. Perhaps they can help keep guard of the entrance through the temple. Because if you know that someone's coming through the temple, perhaps Rust Brothers, you could just give a little doot on your horn and probably annihilate them all.
That's not a bad idea. You know, we're on good terms
now.
as
well. And the undead.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of, you know, friends here that could fight.
You know, that could give us time then to go and recover the other eye and do something with it.
So,
and you could have the one as just keep stomping on their toes. Eventually, they'll let out a grunt in the temple. And you know,
yeah, that would take care of it quick.
Mm-hmm.
So they could be, as long as you can help the whiners out, they can help you as well.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you the crown. Because if the Rust Brothers have that eye, the Rust Brothers work for Zeotram.
Yep. You know. Yep. We've got the whole circle. It's bad.
Cool.
So I'll give you the crown if you promise to go get that eye, get rid of it. Throw it in the bottom of the ocean, throw it in the still mist, destroy it if you can. I don't know if you can.
Okay. I mean, that seems like a responsible thing to have done.
Yeah. Okay.
What's it? We do have at least one of those crystals, right?
Mm-hmm. If this would bring us up to 4, I wonder if there's merit in us making a trip to the still mist to clear the ones we have currently.
Yes, I was about to ask, what's to stop us from doing that now? So that if we bring some of the elves back, it's impossible to combine all 5.
Think the same thing.
And then we could even have the help of one of these elves to try and recover the others.
So, yeah, you've got the scepter, which has one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The blood clasp is in the possession of the Red Runners. you know that the sword is in Stone Loom Mine. With that, all of the rubies are accounted for. And if he hands over the crown, you've got, I don't remember how many.
For it.
Yeah.
But we only have.
You've got 3 rubies in the crown.
One. But
Right.
we only have one, right? Don't we only have the scepter?
Once we have the crown, we'll have 4.
No,
Yes.
the crown's not the crown. No, we don't. We only have one.
Right
But
now.
the crown has 3 in it. So as soon as we
Right.
get the crown, we will then have 4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Marigal had the others or something. Didn't we learn that Marigal was collecting them or something?
So Scorm could explain it. So initially, Ziogfer had the crown, and he had all of the rubies. Marigal stole the crown and distributed the crown and the rubies. That way, Ziogfer couldn't have it anymore.
So I mean, we
that's
have the crown here. Like, how many gems are in the crown?
3.
Okay.
And he's like, if you want, I can go grab it for you.
Sure.
Oh,
Yes,
So-
please.
He hops up and he wanders off into his cave, and he comes back a few moments later, and he hands over the crown. I'm trying to see, I don't know if I've got a picture of the crown. I don't think I do. Anyway, yeah, just a elven-looking crown with slots for 6 rubies in it, and it's got 3 in it right now. And he hands it over and he points out, and he's like, okay, this one's Jamelda, and that one's Nade, and that one's Nebulos.
Do you remember who was in the scepter? We actually have that one already.
Let's see. The scepter is... I think that's Nekaka. No, that's Allegrid.
Oh, good. Well, we'll have
it's easy
names
to get
go
those
with.
two confused.
Yeah. Though he's like, he explains, he's like, I'm old. Sometimes I get my history mixed up. The thing is that at one point the elves, they went down to Alderland and pretended to be humans for a while. And they managed to trick the humans into thinking that the stone was the stone of one of their kings. That way the elf, Allegrid could influence, the Alderlanders to make more peaceful decisions.
That
Is
sounds
there
quite pleasant.
so going back to what Huxley was saying? Is there anything that can be done with these jewels in the crown if there's not all of them? Do they have to be one continual set?
Yeah, if the power to force your will over all of the Ravenlands, it all has to be together.
So if we just beelined it for the stillness right now, and then threw the crown and our scepter into the still mist, then that reforms 4 elves. That means that nothing can be done, right? Like we don't
Yeah.
even have to necessarily go
Well-
get the sword right now.
Okay. Yes, you're right. So it would move it out of the reach. Jogfer, Zertrum, they couldn't do anything with it anymore. It would be completely in the hand of the elves. So, and our friend here, he would point at, you, Steely Dan, would know that in the still mist, all of the elves exist as rubies. It's their native home, right? That's where, you're just incorporeal, right? When an elf decides to leave the still mist, they form a body around their ruby, and they can leave the still mist and walk the Ravenlands as an elf.
Mhm.
So, if you throw all 4 of your rubies and the crown into the still mist, it means the elves will have the crown, and the 4 elves could choose to remain as rubies be put back into the ground. So throwing it in the still mist removes it from play for everyone except for the elves.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Maybe we throw just the rubies in and keep the crown out. That way they
Now-
don't have an advantage.
I hate
What
to say
happened?
it. I hate to say it. If you're wanting to remove this from play permanently, you'll use it to destroy the proto-nexus. It will permanently kill the 6 elves. The 6 elves who are responsible for creation of the entire land. The dwarves made the land, and they made the materials, and the elves populated it with living creatures. Both plant
we
and
wanted to-
animal.
But if we want to
Maybe-
do that, we have to put everything back together.
You have
and
to
then
put
it
the crown back
exists,
together. Yeah.
And that is very risky.
That's very dangerous, because as soon as the crown's together, you know people are going to be coming for it. People are probably already coming for it right now.
tell me something,
Yeah.
Steely Dan.
Oh, Steely Dan. Yeah.
What would happen if I were to say, just step into the still mist?
I'm not sure.
It's a legit answer there.
I mean, because, if we do throw it into the still mist and they decide to stay as rubies, and then someone were to go right to the border of the still mist and just step in and snatch them up. I mean, if it's something like if a non-elf goes into the still mist, they die, that's a good way of protecting it. But if I could just walk in and come out a little bit, moist because of the mist.
So, Steely Dan, you would know that you don't know. Like, you've never heard of anyone else other than an elf entering the still mist. The still mist isn't like a physical place. Like, it has an entrance, but it's not... Yeah, like, you don't know. Like, you've never heard of anyone else entering it or existing inside of it.
What you ask is literally unheard of.
So you're saying I could go in there and turn into a stone. I wouldn't turn into a gem.
I don't even know if you could go in.
Hopefully, if we do this, they would decide to come back out. Well, we throw it in, and we go in there and we throw it out, and then a body would form around it, huh?
I mean, I could always go in and speak with them.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's a better idea.
Why don't you? We could put you in the still mist and turn you into a ruby, and then put you in the crown.
That's what I mean. We throw all of us in, and then we
Well,
could discuss.
just putting it out there for shits and giggles. You all don't even need to throw Dan into the still mist. You could just tear his chest open right now and pull the ruby out of him.
I prefer you don't.
All right. Well, I mean, we got some decisions to make, but the one thing we know is clear: we need that crown, and we need to get out of this valley.
Yeah, we've got the crown, so I mean,
Mm-hmm. And then it's a question of: do we go down to the mines? Do we go over to Vaughn to get the Well of Tears? Or do we just go up to the Stillness right now and cut our losses and hope for the best?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say we got to cut our losses, but we could do them in order. Maybe we eliminate as much risk as possible quickly and then start addressing other issues.
I don't know if it eliminates risk. I actually think throwing the gems into the Still Mist, honestly, I don't even know if that's a good idea because it takes it out of our control. Because at that point, we don't know whether the reformed elves are going to do anything shenanigan-wise. We can't control that. If they're in our possession, at least we have some semblance of control over what happens.
That's fair. I mean, I can't argue that.
I know. We throw one in, and then we let Steely Dan go in there and talk to the one. And then hopefully that will help us decide if we need to keep the other 3.
Yeah, once we put them in, we may not be able to get them back out. So
Pretty much once you put them back in, the only chance you have of getting them back out is if they willingly leave on their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, you could still talk to the one in the still mist.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to throw out the other thing that Scarm is that if you're all wanting a different opinion on it, you could go seek out the Raven Sisters.
Yeah, which we haven't done yet. We could go with like Plan D at this point. Go to the Hollows and find her and seek the Raven Sisters and get some insight on their opinion of matters.
So, we got a lot to think over. We still got a half hour, but I think this is a really good point to wrap because you all got a lot to mull over and figure out what you want to do for your next steps.
Thinking time.
Mm-hmm. So as you're all leaving, the Whiner King does come out and present you a gift. And also, the dwarf, once the music starts playing, that dwarf friend of yours, he would come up. He'd be like, there's plenty of stone here. I think I'm good.
We will, brother.
Yeah, I would like to thank you. I know where a really powerful weapon is.
Go on.
Yeah. If you ever, really need to murder something good, just head on over to the Druids of Pelagia. They're hiding it there. It is... Let me find it. It's in the Games Master Guide. Artifacts.
I know we've heard of them before, if I recall.
It's called Scarn's Mane. Aptly named after our friend's brother here.
Thank you for that information. We will put it on the list of things to consider.
And I seem to recall, did we find where the Druids of Pelagia are at? I feel like we've heard of them before.
Pelagia is a place on the eastern coast. It's where we were supposed to meet the Red Runners.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
That's why it's familiar.
Yeah.
So that's the information he'll share with you. If you want a powerful dwarven artifact that was not only used to battle the giant Scarn, but it was also used to kill a dragon.
Is there some phrase or some information we might be able to provide them that would, will them to turn it over to us? I imagine they don't just hand artifacts out to people.
No, it was, one of the gifts from the sea. It was given to the dwarves, but now the elven druids there hide it from the dwarves. So, good luck, but it's there. It won't be easy to claim, but if you can claim it, you'll truly deserve it.
Okay, so it's not something we can likely take on friendly terms.
Good luck.
Okay, that's good enough. One more item on our laundry list.
Yeah. So, as you're leaving, the Whiner King does present you with a gift. Give me just a moment.
It's tiny, cooked up in a sandwich for everybody.
It's an hourglass.
What?
Just thought you guys really want to know what we taste like.
That's it.
A little
That's
tiny
exactly.
sandwich.
So if you all click on the items directory, you should see a folder for core game. If you expand that, there should be a folder for artifacts. I don't know what's all in there. What do you see?
I see the Nightwalker's hourglass.
Yeah,
That is it. That is the gift that the Whiner King presents to you.
Wow. we get 1 3-day redo potentially.
You want to explain that in a little more direct terms there, Dan?
Yeah, a person who breaks the hourglass will travel back in time. Further back, the more sand has passed. I assume it's like a 3-day long hourglass then.
So yeah.
But no more than 3 days. So all living beings within near are brought back in time. So we could all huddle together and smash the hourglass and go back 3 days and re-zero ourselves a better solution to something we screwed up, possibly.
So someone should always be flipping this hourglass so that it's ready to go.
All right. You think we can make it to the stillness in 3 days?
Quite possibly.
I
mean,
I don't think so.
it would be tough. It would be real tough.
I don't know if that's the mistake we want to undo yet or not, but because I assume this is a one-use item.
It is a one-use item. Once you break it, it's gone forever. But
Oh,
it does let you redo potentially 3 days.
But if we go
Second
back and
page of information.
but if we go back in
got more
time,
details.
wouldn't we go back to when we had the hourglass?
I don't know. That sounds awfully sketchy.
I
You
was
said
gonna-
there was a second page?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, there's a
drawback.
bunch more information.
There's a drawback.
Yeah.
It costs the breaker a limb. So it could be a finger if you went back an hour, an arm for a day, or his life for 3 days. So a person can sacrifice themselves in this way to make something undone.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate the fact that it's a jet black, undecorated lacquered box. So it's
That's
totally
perfect for
fitting
weights.
Waits' aesthetic right now.
There's actually 3 of them in total. One of them's fracture time, one of them is unmake mistake, and one of them is bone break. There's room for 3, but there's only 1 left.
Go. All right.
So
Put bubble
some days
wrap
have
on
been
it.
undone before.
So it doesn't accidentally break. That's a good idea.
All right. So we're gonna have to do some off-screen conversation, so you all can decide where you want to go, and I can make sure I'm well prepared for that. But
So a quick thing we might be able to resolve yet in this session is the orcs, if they want to leave them or not.
let's leave that for the start of next session.
Okay.
So next session, you all can decide, have a plan for the orcs, and then move a direction. So for right now, we're going to do some questions for experience. First off, did you participate?
Yes.
Did you travel through at least one hex? That's a no for this one.
No.
Did you discover a new adventure site? That's a no. Did you defeat one or more monsters? Yeah. The orc that you drove off.
Technically defeated.
He was broken.
Did you find a treasure? Yeah.
Most definitely.
We did not build a function of the stronghold. Did anyone activate their pride?
Mm-mm.
I think this is going to be a very light on experience session.
Did anyone suffer from their dark secret? Huxley did. Talking about.
Yeah, it's a pretty purple one, so I thought you'd have
Did you risk your life for another PC? Not really any life. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? Huxley giving up one of his magical, reagent items. I think Huxley definitely gets it. Anyone else thinks they?
I think Osborne went in alone.
Yeah.
Which there's some
And the
risk there.
the goblin thing. I forget, what was it again? The hooch goblin.
Hooch goblin.
The Hooch Goblin.
Uh-huh.
Huge goblin. That was fantastic.
The party vanquished the Hooch Goblin. That's an extraordinary act right there.
And then as far as reputation, everyone go and increase your reputation by 1 because you recovered a legendary treasure or artifact. That's another thing I need to do. I need to go into core game. Oh, I need to go. So if you go back into the items folder, oh, there was a picture of it. There should now be a folder called Raven's Purge and then artifacts. And there's the information on the scepter and the crown. I don't know if there's any spoilers in The Crown, but I don't think there should be. I don't know. I'm not going to read it, so good luck.
I mean, there shouldn't be, but who knows?
Who knows? So yeah, you all have the crown. You have a magical hourglass that can turn back time. You've got a shitload of information.
Yes.
We've gone and done experience. Let's do some plugs real quick. Adam, what do you want to plug?
I'd like to plug the same thing I did at the beginning. I'd like to plug Leather, Steel, Blade, and Bone, supplement written by Jeff Heising and rules developed by myself with art by Ken Duque. So we had to take it down for a little bit during a title change, and so it's now back up and ready for you to make your Zweihander game a little bit more crunchy if you're looking for that.
There we go. Very cool. Let's see. Jeff and Melissa.
Yeah, we're Adventures in Lollygagging. We're over at twitch.tv/the We play all sorts of different games, mostly on Mondays and Fridays. We've been playing an ongoing Alien game. We've done Mutineer Zero. We've done some Vason. And on Fridays, we do Delta Green. And also come back on Monday, 9 p.m. Central on the Free League Publishing channel. And you can catch a couple of us on the screen playing Things from the Flood as we have an ongoing mystery landscape that we're taking through.
Yeah. What do we got? So tonight, Jeff and I will be hanging out over on all the RPGs. Tomorrow night, we'll be over on Steam, Steel, and Murder for some Shadowrun. And then here, or on my channel, Defenders of Cobalt, at 10 p.m. Central, we'll be kicking off a new leg of Spectaculars. So, yeah, that's what we got. I don't know. Can't think of anything else. So rather than me continuing to just ramble on, I'm just going to go ahead and end this shit. Clicking the thing so we're on the right screen. Cool. All right. So I don't got anything else. So until we see you next time, start fires, do drugs, and go get your damn vaccine. Deuces.
Bye.